Coming at y'all again from behind the set. I'm covering an important topic today, one that just been sitting on my mind heavy, and I kind of brushed past it on one of my episodes because it really wasn't what I was talking about. But I feel like this is important. This has applied to me heavy. It's called getting it out the mud. A lot of people have a misconception on what getting it out the mud is. A lot of people think getting it out the mud is, oh, I was in the streets getting it. I started off with nothing, and this where I'm at now. And truth to be told, like, if you don't have a solid foundation, you can fall and sink at any given time. So where I come from when I say getting out the mud is, first of all, when you think about the foundation of a house and you think about anything on this earth that's a solid structure, it's dirt and mud down there. But y'all like, dang, how's this building standing up and standing still? Well, because this building has a foundation. But you don't just get your foundation when you get it out the mud. You have to go through some different things. You have to put gravel down before you lay the foundation. I'm a concrete guy, and anybody who lays concrete without putting gravel down, usually their workmanship is no good because the concrete will crack fast because it's just sitting on unsolid ground. You can't put something solid on top of something soft. You have to put something in between it. You have to put some rocks through there. That's the rough stage, the rocks. Then you lay your foundation. So when you getting it out the mud, to me, in my definition, and this has applied to my life, there's a lot of different times in my life where I pointed the finger at everybody. I pointed the finger at the system. I pointed the finger at, the police. Instead of me really just pointing at myself. A lot of people love to do that because it's so easy to blame somebody else for your problems. It's so easy to, when you having problems, give other people problems. And that's the easiest way out. And usually when you do easy things, life is hard. But when you do hard things, life become easy for you. An example of getting it out the mud is when you can dig deep to yourself and point the finger at yourself and say, this is why I'm in a predicament I'm in now. This is why my life is going this way. This is why my relationship is failing. This is why my business connections aren't working. A lot of the times we like to point the finger at other people and say it's their fault because this, that, and the other. But in reality, it's our fault for allowing other people to control our destiny and to dictate our future. I'm getting it out the mud. If you get it out the mud, that means you dig into your dirt and pointing the dirt to yourself. And you saying, this is where I went wrong. This is where I went wrong. Then once you get it out the mud, you can put you start to go through the rough stages because you humble. So you like, okay, I'm taking the rough stages. I'm going to deal with living in this environment. I'm going to deal with these finances. I'm going to deal with whatever it is you dealing with because you done already pointed the problem at yourself. So now you taking ownership. That's the rough stage, taking ownership. But it creates growth because once you take ownership and you go through the rough stages, now you can lay your foundation on something you can never turn back on, something you can never look at and fail again because now you got a foundation established to the point where it's like, once you lay your foundation, can't nobody get through and get to your rough spot, your rocky part, or even your muddy part. They can't even put you back in the same position. It's like the same with concrete. If you lay that concrete, you take that dirt that's underneath there and you pat it down and you get that dirt nice and solid. You done worked on that dirt. You got that dirt solid. Now you put that gravel down. Now you're going through the rough stage, that gravel. Then you put that concrete on top of there. You got a structure that's going to last forever. And the same techniques and principles apply to life. If you get to the point of life where you not doing good or you not succeeding at what you want to succeed at first, before you blame anybody, find out where you went wrong. Because if you got somebody to blame, that means you allowed yourself to put them in a position to mess up whatever you're trying to work on. So that's really my definition of getting it out the mud.